All right, guys, so as you can see, there's a wide selection of gear here, and you're not going to be able to take everything with you. There's no need to anyways, but most everybody's cook system, in my opinion, is really lacking. So instead of having one of these options, I would suggest having about 3 of these options. And what I mean by that is, instead of just having a little thing to boil water in, you're going to also want a grill grate to cook meat on, cook fish fillets on. You're going to want a bigger pot to boil water in, boil a bunch of water, because you need a bunch of boiled water whenever you're around camp. But anyways, that's just some things to think about throughout this video. This is what I store all this stuff in. This is all my cooking gear, and depending on what I'm doing, where I'm going, I'll pick and choose what I want to take along. I'm going to show you what all this stuff is capable of, all these different kits here. And anyways, hopefully you'll get some ideas on some backcountry cooking things you might be wondering about. And the reason I'm doing this video is because this little bag here, I had it put together for going duck hunting and cooking up some bacon and sausage in the duck blind, and doing some coffee and stuff like that. Everybody having a way to eat, because sometimes people will bring a grill and some paper plates, but they'll forget everything else. But anyways, cooking goes on in duck blinds, and this is my little poor man's cooking bag for the duck blind. But anyways, that's besides the point. Sometimes we build fires, most times we don't. That's just for special occasions when I got a group going and we're going to stay a while and we're going to need food and warm beverages. So anyways, all kinds of stuff in there. But that's my old kit, and this is some of my new kit. Like I say, that still depends on what I'm doing. I'll pick and choose what I want to use here. But there's a lot to think about when it comes to backcountry cooking, and with all the floods and natural disasters going on in North Carolina, I've been seeing a lot of people posting online on TikTok and on reels and stuff where they're cooking outdoors in big stainless steel pots and cast iron, and having to live in a world without power and internet and access to the outside world. It's I think a great modern day example we can learn something from. A lot of parts of Appalachia are pretty much cut off. People can't get in hardly, no matter how hard they try, unless they have mules or pack animals, things like that, helicopters. So it's real serious. They're real isolated, and these abilities here to cook outside of your kitchen are going to come in handy one day probably. And if not, you can still have a lot of fun in the outdoors, eating good food and drinking good coffee and tea and all that good stuff. So stick around, check out the video, like, comment, and subscribe. All right, guys, we're going to do a video today on backcountry cooking, and the first thing I want to talk about is that this is going to be relative to what you're doing, how you're getting there, whether you're going by foot or by horseback or by four-wheeler or truck or Jeep or canoe, whatever you might be doing. It's gonna depend on that. So through hikers are going to want the most minimal, lightest thing they can get away with, and obviously guys who are going out into the backcountry and staying a little bit longer are going to want a lot more capabilities. And so it depends on what you're doing, but I'm going to give you options for all of that. I'm going to tell you what I use for different things, and all the things you might want whenever you go into the woods and stay there. So the first thing I kind of want to discuss, the reason I'm making this video is a lot of people I go camping and hunting and stuff with, their cook sets are really, really lacking. 9 out of 10 people I know, pretty much the only thing they have rolling is just the canteen, or not the canteen cup, but the Nalgene water bottle cup. And the problem with that is obviously pretty much all you can do is boil water. I guess you could cook a little something in there, but pretty much all you can do is boil a little water in that for those instant meals. And that's really limiting if you like to cook any wild game that you're harvesting off the landscape, fish or squirrels or deer or anything like that. You're really not going to get far with this. So this is just going to be real quick out, and this is what your through hikers are going to want. One of these little Nalgene bottle cups, something like that probably. And that leads to another discussion. They usually use some type of jet boil or a propane stove sort of a deal with the torch on the top of it and everything. That's what this is. This has the fuel canister in the stove, and a couple other things, a sponge and maybe some matches or something in there to light it. But anyways, it's a 2-piece kit. It's got a pretty big, almost a bush pot, but not really. It's got handles like a canteen cup. and it's got like kind of a little bowl deal, but it's also got handles on it. You can cook in each of them. I haven't done any campfire cooking with this thing. All I'll ever use it for is just the bowl. I heat the water for my bag meals in this, and I also have a canteen cup, so I can boil a little more water than normal if I'm trying to go extremely lightweight. But this is a good way to just carry the stove and the canister of fuel. And one thing to note on this is one of those, I don't know what brand this is, made in China, cheap brand. It's good though, I mean, it's nice. And but one thing to note on it is you do have to have the small, real small canisters, fuel canisters, to fit in here. The big ones won't fit. Big ones like this here, this is too big to fit. So that, or it'll fit, but you won't be able to get your stove in there too. So stoves, that's another thing. They're cheap. They're it's an easy bulletproof system. It heats water fast. It's reliable. I got a stove and a lighter in here. I've never used this. This is brand new. And you might think throughout this video this might be some sort of a giant Pathfinder endorsement. It's really not. They make great products. I've definitely spent way too much money on their products on a bunch of junk I probably didn't need. But everything I've got has been high quality, and I'm not just terribly upset that I purchased it. So that's more than I can say for a lot of companies. But with all that being said, this is limiting. So pretty much what I like to do for the majority of my camping career was carry a Boy Scout cook tin. I've got 3 or 4 of these different things and different kits placed about, but I'd carry a Boy Scout cook tin and then one of these, and I could do more campfire cooking. I prefer to do campfire cooking as opposed to just boiling on the little canister stoves. You never know how much fuel you got, and you know, it's just not, it doesn't have the same feel to it as cooking over a campfire. Something about cooking over a campfire is way better. You come out to the outdoors to get the vibe and the experience of the place, and I just don't know that having a big flaming jet torch is the way to do that. I think cooking over a campfire is a better way to go, or a grill or something at least. But they definitely have their place. They're high-speed technical gear in my opinion though, and I like to kick it back a little old school. These Boy Scout cook tins, I mean, everybody's probably seen these things. They got a folding handle on them, and they got 2 plates. There's detailed videos on these. I'm not gonna break it down way in depth, but there's also a little bush pot kettle sort of deal, and you can store a few things in there. I've actually got one of those torchy things I was saying I didn't like very much, the stoves. But anyways, this is just my general camp cooking gear here, and I would plug and play what gear I needed into the system I was taking and all that. This is just going to be a video kind of showing what all options there is and everything like that. So I apologize, this isn't all going to fit back together just perfectly smooth. I might get taken out by a nut falling out of the sky. But anyways, that's this. It's made out of aluminum, I do believe. So Boy Scouts of America, it's old stuff. You can pick these up cheap at yard sales, garage sales, probably online. I'm not totally sure, but I've got 3 or 4 of these, and that's a nice deal there. And there's also, you can get, you know, cook kits, a stove, and things for your water bottle. I got there's gonna be a segment in here just over the water bottles. I'm gonna try to stay out of that for now. So imagine whenever you're building your system, you might want a canteen system, or you know, as opposed to just a normal canteen. And you know, think about when you're you know, looking at your water bottle, that you might also have a water bottle kit that kind of stand alone and can do a lot of stuff. Like this one, I can make coffee in. I got a fire kit and all kinds of stuff in here that can boil a lot more water than, definitely a lot more than you can with just the standard Nalgene and the cup. So this is just so limiting. I hate how the broad majority of this outdoor industry seems to just minimal cookware. It's I don't know, it's limiting for me. So another thing, like deer back straps, good luck cooking that. I mean, I guess you can, but this is not the ideal method for cooking, you know, something like deer back straps or catfish fillets or anything like that. So grill grates are awesome. These here, it says Hellfire Bushcraft Grill. Let's see, what is that? I think BattleBox, the subscription service. I don't have a subscription service, but I ordered this online. Comes in this canvas pouch. It's pretty neat. Dave Canterbury has one that's got 3 grill racks and like a wax canvas pouch. This is similar, and this is something that'd be great to have a grill grate for your you know, fish fillets or your bigger pieces of meat, wild game, stuff like that, or a steak if you wanted to bring a steak, something of that nature. So as you can see, we're starting to build kind of a system here. I'm just grabbing random stuff. See, we got grill grates now. We got a big water bottle cook system with all kinds of different stuff in it. So we've already got a fire and water boiling and meat cooking, right? And then you can add more stuff to it. And if you go way out, you know, if you go above and beyond on these things and beef these things up, you know, like I said, coffee and all that right here. And I'm not talking just instant coffee, you know, which nothing wrong with it, but you can have real kind of cowboy style coffee with this thing. It's not technically cowboy style coffee, but you can definitely get stronger, better tasting coffee with this than you can mixing up a pack of instant coffee. So anyways, a kit mentality is definitely something to think about. Always think with a kit mentality, systems mentality. Like this here, this isn't just a, you know, it's a cup and a stove and a fuel can, but this is pretty much a standalone unit. You know what I mean? You just need to add water to this and you're cooking. And and another thing to note, this here also has an alcohol stove in it. So it's a standalone unit too, and it already has water. So this is better than this in my opinion. It's got extra alcohol in it. The alcohol burns through pretty faster than the gas seems to. But anyways, it's definitely doable. It's something I need to practice with more, get more used to, get the science down, write down how long the stuff lasts and stuff like that, how long it takes to cook certain things with the alcohol stoves. But anyways, and this more fuel for the alcohol stoves in there. And this is all this stuff is coming out of this one little box here that you can throw in the back of your truck or Jeep or whatever. I got some just stuff like that. This is another thing I'm going to talk about, barbecue skewers. You can shove a squirrel through there and rig him up, or you can stick these in the ground and use them as little posts, and then build a rack with these things into the ground. You know, build a spit with these things. Real simple, just take 3 of these, 1 on each side, and then shove your squirrel or rabbit through, just like that right there, and then stick him over the coals. So these barbecue skewers are cool. You can obviously use them as barbecue skewers as well. And long pokey thing, doesn't hurt anything. It's easy to put in the box. So they're here, and I think they make like a heavier version of this and sell it on Dave Canterbury's website, pathfinder.com. But these, like I said, are just cheap barbecue skewers. So, but like I said, I still got to play with all this stuff. These are the bag meals I was talking about, for you just dump the hot water in. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and pause the video, branch into a different segment, probably the water bottle versus canteen segment, and either that or we're gonna branch into something else, and that's gonna be its own video. I need to rewatch the video, see what's all happening. I've lost track of what's going on because I have a big pile of gear here on the ground, which I'm actually going to show you too. I'm going to give you a view of it all laid out, and maybe you'll get some ideas, and just hopefully you'll start thinking about being more prepared and more capable when it comes to cooking, because you need, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I've personally had a lot of problems not being capable enough when it comes to cooking in the outdoors. So, all right, guys, we're gonna have a little discussion over canteens and water bottles, and canteen cook sets and water bottle cook sets, what the pros and cons are, which ones you might want to choose. I went ahead and bought both, obviously, because I have a hard time deciding, but I'm gonna give you a little rundown on what my thoughts are on the matter. This is surplus stuff here. You can pick this up at surplus stores pretty cheap. You can also get metal canteens, kind of like the other canteen I'm going to show you. The other one I'm going to show you is a Pathfinder canteen. So it's pretty over-engineered, but you can get those older style World War II canteens that'll go in here. So you have more water boiling capabilities and whatnot. But with the canteen, or with the Nalgene type of system, It would be handy if they would make these in stainless steel and they were affordable, but that's not really the case. You can get something that's real close from Pathfinder Outdoors. This isn't a paid sponsorship. I don't work for them. I've got a bunch of their products here recently and I think they're great. So, and I enjoy the channel. But anyways, it'd be better if you could get stainless steel Nalgene's, but you really can't. So you're stuck with this plastic stuff, which is good. It's real tough material. I've never had a problem with it being not sufficiently well made. So these are real tough, bulletproof, and but the problem you run into with just carrying something like this, which is fine if you're just heating up water to pour in your bagged meals, like in your vacuum sealed Mountain House meals, things like that, or if you're just heating up a cup of coffee for some instant coffee to go in, like through hiking and things like that, this is probably what you want to go with. Now, if you're getting anything beyond just heating up water to dump in bagged meals, pretty much, you're going to want to go with a cook set or cook kit. And the problem is with either of these systems, it's not much of a cook kit. You still need to, in my opinion, you still need to supplement it with a couple things, which we can get into later or in another video. But we're going to try to stay on topic with just the water bottle and canteen kits. So anyways, this is pretty much the simplest version of it, and this is like a over-engineered version. This is what I was using for a long time, and I still use it in one of my packs, but this is the Condor water bottle holder versus the Pathfinder water bottle holder. You can see the size difference. At first I didn't order the water bottle holder thinking it was just going to be something exactly like this, but it wasn't. I actually needed it to fit the kit in. But I'll open up the old water bottle holder and kind of show you what this kit was about, show you its capabilities, because a lot of times I would use this in my adventures and all that. So, but I mean, I really don't have to. It's essentially just this shoved down in there. So that's all that is. And then up front, I got a few more things, a spoon and a little kit with some things in it, a bandana and a lighter, nothing crazy, just stuff you need for your cooking operation. But still, this is mostly just gonna be good for your bagged meals. Even this big water bottle cook kit here. This one, the difference being it's a lot more capable. Got a fire kit in here, and this is the water bottle itself. It's a nice water bottle. You can boil water in it, and then it comes with a cup and a stove. So that's cool. It all nests together and everything. But at the end of the day, it is more capable, but it's not a ton more capable. Now the cup is bigger, so I do like that. I do like that the cup is bigger than your standard, cheapo water bottle cup. So that is good. But at the end of the day, it's not a ton more capable than just a Nalgene and a cup. That's not to say it's a bad product. It's a great product. It's well built, well made, and it's a good company. I'd suggest you buy one if you're interested in one. And then this cook kit also, something is one of those little coffee brew pot kits, a stove. So actually this big water bottle kit is a lot more extensive. It's a self-contained unit. You can cook with it. All you gotta have is just your food, and you can get your water hot and all that. And you can cook ramen in the cup or whatever, maybe a small amount. At least that cup's bigger than this one too. I already put it back in the kit. But anyways, those are some things to think about with water bottles. Hang on, real fast up front, you can fit a lot more stuff. Fuel and a scrub pad and an aluminum foil and pot hangers and fork and spoon and all that good stuff. So everything you might need for a backcountry meal, you can fit in here. And pretty much the same stuff in here to a little lesser extent. You're still gonna need a stove or start a fire or something. It's not all just ready to go in one package, but still pretty capable little deal. So those are some things to think about on the Nalgenes. These things are just rock solid. These things have been used for a long time. I think the Boy Scouts kind of popularized these. They would obviously carry water in them and juice or whatever, but they'd put eggs and pancake mix and sugar, all their stuff in here, because they were cooking for a big group of people, so they'd carry their food supplies in these a lot of times too. So these things are awesome. Tons of uses for these, and you need to have a lot of these. But On to the canteens. As I was saying earlier, this is a cheap surplus plastic canteen. You can get metal ones. That's what I would suggest if you're going to run this type of system. And then a canteen cup, obviously. Now, when it comes to cooking, like putting noodles or something in these things, I like the canteen cup better just because it's a bigger opening, or at least it feels like it when you go to stir and dip a spoon in there with how it's elongated and whatnot. But I'm going to get into the system. And kind of the reason I made this video was because, like I said, I was wondering which system I felt was more complete. And I'm going to have to say, for now, it's probably the water bottle. You'll see why. I got some water purification tabs in here, and a little fishing kit, and fair seam rod, stormproof matches, a lighter, 3 methods of fire, and some survival stuff in here. Obviously the chemical filtration is for the canteen, but it comes with the stove part, wind guard, and the canteen itself is nice. It's a good looking canteen. It's got a big old lid on it. It's not much to say about that there. It's bigger. Let me see. It's a lot bigger than just the standard canteen size too, so it's not gonna fit in the standard things without sticking up. It's gonna be really tall if it does that. So as you can see there, it doesn't really fit. But it comes with its own. Canteen cup, which is nice, and it has measurements on the inside. So I mean, these things are over-engineered. They're definitely nicer than the surplus stuff. It's taller and probably wider too. Yeah, it looks like it's wider perhaps, but anyways, I like this for cooking noodles inside of it or whatever, like a pack of ramen. And so I would say the Pathfinder canteen is worth the money as compared to a surplus canteen system. And I would also say, just the fact that the water bottle is steel definitely makes it worth buying over the standard Nalgene system. You need to have one of these at least. You probably don't need as many as you need of these, because these are just transports. But having the ability to boil more water is paramount. Can't tell you how many times I've been limited on how much water I can boil at once, and it's been a problem. So the more water you can boil at once, the better. And so anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about the canteen versus water bottle situation, what your preferences are, how you use each one in different systems, some benefits I didn't name or didn't think about on either one. And I'm gonna go ahead. I've got my kind of, call it overlanding gear, if you will, my truck camping gear. This is everything you need for cooking and all that. Well, it's way more than you'd ever need for cooking, but it's how I store all my cooking stuff. And then depending on the trip or the trip I'm going on, I pick and choose what I want to bring along depending on what the deal is. So let me know what you guys think, and I'm about to make a video on some of this other camp cooking gear. I might add it all into one video, and I might cut everything I just said out, or I might leave it. Who cares? Probably not gonna be a lot of people watching anyways, but here we go. All right, guys, so up to this point, I've been kind of showing you things that would all be personal kits. There are other mess kits available. There's old World War II mess kits with just 2 plates. That's kind of, I think, developed more for standing in the line, going down through the line and filling up your food. We're not gonna get too much into the design of all these things, what they were intended for. We're just gonna get into what we're using them for, things like that. So with that being said, they've all been individual cooking kits, cooking systems up to this point. Now we're gonna get into a group cooking system. This is from Dave Canterbury, also Pathfinder School. He has a system kind of like this put together, probably cheaper than the way I've done it here. I forget what it's called, the Woodsman's something, I don't know. Anyways, he's got it on his website. Check out his gear and build your gear accordingly. But anyways, this thing is awesome. Got a big old bush pot. I could probably fit another bush pot in here too somehow, because he's got 3 bush pot sizes. I'm guessing they all fit together. Got aluminum foil and a sponge, another bush pot. And inside the bush pot, I've got 4 stainless steel bowls. I've got a little grill grate, a pair of gloves, salt and pepper, a bandana, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, I've got it. So there we go. We're cooking now. We got a big old pot, big old soup, stew, chili going, whatever. Bowls for everybody, for 4 people. Obviously, you can stretch everything. I got the folding skillet in the bottom, so that's awesome. And it's got a lid. And I've got 4 stainless steel bowls inside of that. And then I've got a fire kit. And I mean, this thing is everything you need to cook for a group of guys. And then the bottom, I have a grill rack that fits inside the skillet. And also it's obviously just a grill rack. So you got a grill rack, you got pots, you got pans, you got some utensil stuff in there. I need to put some more actual utensils in it, like fork and spoon and everything, but I'm kind of banking on everybody who comes having maybe at least a spork or having just some silverware around or whatever. This is definitely a base camp type of system, and it would be well served at a cabin or deer camp, something like that. But anyways, I'm not gonna get into that too much because this is Dave Canterbury's idea. It's just crap I bought from him, but it's awesome. And there's that. So go check out his website, Pathfinder. Again, he's not paying me, but I wish he was. I'll tell you where to send the check, Dave. But anyways, this here is an awesome way of transporting food or whatever you might carry. It's just full of tin containers, such as this. I'm not gonna break down every one of them, but just use your imagination. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these. You could probably fit another one or some smaller ones on top. I've got a big thing of coffee here, and pancake mix right there on top, so you can fit whatever you want in there. Cornmeal, pancake mix, whatever you want. Sugar, coffee creamer, whatever you might have in mind, you can fit it in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and click off of this segment. This is some things to think about if you're cooking for a lot of people. You can throw this in the back of one of the trucks, and you're gonna have a pretty extensive cooking set. And this is a cool way of carrying stuff in. This is the old traditional method. It gives me the fizz. So check this out, the stack canisters carrying method. There's a lot of cool stuff you can learn by going down that rabbit hole. So anyways, guys, may do one more segment here, show you what all this looks like together, and try to do an intro that makes sense, because I've done 5 or 6 intros and exit videos and keep thinking of more stuff I need to talk about here. So anyways, okay, here's the coffee segment. So this is something I haven't tried yet. This is like a mesh sink screen type of thing that fits in the Pathfinder bottle cup. Fits up there. You can put your coffee in there, I guess, if it's a little coarser ground, and kind of percolate it type of situation. But I haven't used that yet. That's what that looks like. And as I was saying, it goes on the Pathfinder bottle cup. So there's that. That's one way you can make coffee. Haven't tried that, so can't speak on that much. You can also make cowboy coffee. You know, just mix it up with water and boil the water. And you can also use a percolator. That's popular when it comes to outdoor camping, cooking stuff as well. Now another way you can make coffee, which I think is kind of screwy, but it's the pour over filters. You get these, and it's a little wonky, as you see. This is not the system I would suggest. You get this and you rig it up on top of your container. Let's see, where's the container? Let's show you just how this looks whenever you get it. It's a disaster. But anyways, you rig it up on top of there, and then you got to pour hot water on top of there and to let it drip through. And you need filters for that, so filters in that, and it folds up nicely. That's a good cheap way to do things. But you need two water containers, or at least a cup and something you can get water hot in. So that's how you do that. Not the system I would recommend. Really, one of the best ways to do it is just heating up water, putting in instant coffee. That's a pretty good way to do it. Cowboy coffee is good if you're into that. Now this is something I've actually been using at the house. I like it so much. This is Dave Canterbury's Pathfinder French press. Now I don't know if I find myself bringing this along on like any backpacking trips, but definitely truck camping trips or at the hunting cabin. This thing is awesome. I've used it, like I said, the past couple mornings. at home, and you get a good strong cup of coffee out of this. It's got measurements on the inside, and it's just a good tasting coffee out of a French press. And I like how it's all stainless steel, and yeah, you can fit like coffee in there, for instance. So got me a tin of coffee in my French press, and can throw this in the old camping box or whatever, or carry this to the old hunting cabin and have some good coffee. So think that's about all I have to say about Backwoods coffee. I don't have a big layout here showing you all that. That's just my opinions. This is the best tasting way you're gonna get is a French press situation. But I've always struggled with coffee when I'm hunting and stuff. I run out, and many times I've had no way to make more coffee. That's a mistake. Don't make that mistake. Have a way to make more coffee with you. The easiest thing, like I said, is just have one of these you can heat up with water and then add an instant coffee. That's cheap and easy. But if you're becoming a bit of a coffee snob and you like good, strong, rich coffee, you might want to get something like this or make cowboy coffee. So anyways, guys, that's the coffee segment. All right, guys, got a pretty good fire going. I'm gonna get ready to make some coffee and some bacon and some eggs. All right, this coffee's getting hot, so we're gonna go ahead and make us some coffee. This is the French press from Pathfinder Outdoors, and we're just gonna put a good, well, we'll go ahead and take it out of the coals here. We'll go ahead and put a good amount of coffee in here. Some good strong Joe here. A little more. Give that a stir. I don't know if you're supposed to stir it or not, but anyways, we're doing it. So there's that. Just wipe the grounds off on your britches leg there, and put the lid on so the heat doesn't escape, and then we'll give that a minute to do its thing there. Then we'll press it and pour us a cup. These tin cans make a great way to carry around coffee and pancake mix and sugar, things like that. Anyways, brings me to my next thing. We got some pack of bacon here. Bacon's a pretty good food to take out into the backcountry, into the woods. It'll keep for a couple of days as long as it's not like extremely hot temperatures and you got it sealed up. Obviously, probably if you get it from a butcher and they salt it in an old school sort of a way, or in a better way than they do at the big box stores, and it'll probably last a little better. But I mean, overnight or a day or two the next morning, so the bacon should be good. But I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it in half here. Set one half over here to the side, and then all that's left to do is just throw some bacon on this here skillet. The skillet is from Pathfinder Outdoors too. Out here testing all this gear out. It seems okay. The skillet handle is a little wonky on the Pathfinder skillet. Ooh, hell yeah, she's getting hot. All right, that's just one piece there. Okay, we're just gonna do 4 pieces at first. But yeah, bacon's a good meal to take into the backcountry. It'll last a little bit longer than what Google tells you. So we'll go ahead and get this coffee pressed and poured, and then we will. Let me get a smaller cup. We'll use this. I was gonna make coffee with the other coffee maker, but I'm not gonna have time this morning. No need, we won't drink it all anyways. This is gonna be more than we'll drink. This made probably 3 cups or so. Good dark looking black coffee there. It's hot, strong, good deal. All right, so now we just got to deal with our bacon. I got this 3-in-1 deal here. I don't know how it's going to work out. We'll see. 3-in-1 Pathfinder deal. Now we just got to cook the bacon. Hang on just a second. Alright, so now all that's left to do is just cook this bacon. Drink some good coffee. Relax, share with the dog. This thing doesn't seem to stay together well. Might be better served having individual tools instead of this multi-tool sort of apparatus. Stir this fire up a little bit, get it hot. Okay. All right, guys, time for a little campfire discussion. A lot of you guys, when you go out into the woods, are using those bagged meals with the dehydrated foods in them. You add the hot water to, and use the big propane blowtorch to heat them up. Shit sounds like a rocket ship going off, and it is astronaut food. What I would recommend, guys, if you want to get the full feel of the outdoors, you want to get the outdoor experience, you want to be a woodsman, if you're somebody who might hunt your own game and eat your own game, you're definitely gonna not want to just eat those bagged space food meals all the time. Take you some coffee, make some coffee, take some bacon, take some beans, some rice, pancake mix, make you some food, eat good when you're in the woods. Something to think about is if you're doing all this as a way to prepare for the world that is to come, or if you're doing this to honor the world that is gone, then either way, the blowtorch isn't really the best option, I don't feel like. Campfire cooking is primitive. It's something we've been doing for thousands of years. It feels right inside your body, feels right inside your soul. Something about it is extremely relaxing and rewarding, and helps give you that full outdoor experience. And back to that whole state of the world thing, things not being what they used to be. Those bag meals are getting harder and harder to come by. They're getting expensive. Not many stores carry them, at least not in my area. No stores carry them, so can't really get that. So you gotta come up with your own stuff, be a little bit self-reliant like the pioneers of old, and it's way better that way anyways. The bag meals have a place and a purpose. If you're just through hiking or trying to cover a lot of ground, you don't have much time to stop and eat and make camp and all that, or you don't want to carry all this weight. It's purpose driven, but it shouldn't be what you gravitate towards if you have the choice. So if you're packing up through the mountains and you're hunting elk or whatever, and you're just needing something quick to keep you going, yeah. Or if you're a through hiker trying to put out 100 miles in a couple of days or however, a couple of weeks or whatever, yeah, that may be what you want. But that's not what I want. I like to make me a fire, have me some real food, have the ability to cook food that I might gather off the landscape. And I think all in all, it helps you better prepare for the world that is to come. You don't like bacon? All right, guys, we're coming towards the end here. This bacon looks about good enough for me. I'd like it a little crispier, but it'll be all right. We're spending a lot of time on this cooking thing this morning, and we got a few other things we got to do. But old Lucky, he's just waiting his turn on this bacon. He's already had 3 or 4 pieces, but you know, in a dog's mind, there's never enough bacon. So all that's left to do now is just eat and clean up and go fishing. Oh, Lucky the mountain dog. It's a heck of a rescue, ain't he? He just showed up. I had to save him from getting hit by a car. He was laying out in the road so weak he could barely move. We got him rehabilitated and giving him love. So that's what it's all about. He hadn't been with me his whole life, so I got him tied up here because I don't just 1,000,000% trust him not to run off chasing something. But he's been a great dog, and he's doing good on this trip. He's just been chill as can be. He wants some bacon, but who doesn't?